Hey everybody, I appreciate so much you guys chiming in about the beaded spine art journal that I made out of a cereal box, and a lot of you said that you'd like to see a full tutorial on this art journal. So I am going to show you how I did it. Now, when I do a tutorial, it's just my take on things, and I think it's really important that you always do what you want to. You can follow a tutorial and just do your own thing, though. It's really important to your creative process. I think the reason this turned out so nicely is the paper. The paper just really did make this little project, and the glitter, the butterflies, the birdcage imagery, it really did make the journal pop. It made it really pretty. My first suggestion would be to get some paper, or go to your paper stash, or create your own cover with a good image on it. This paper has a lot of fun images on it, but you need a strong image for the front of your book. Now, for the one that I'm going to show you guys, I've chosen a bird image, and I think that one's going to be really super cool too. Of course, the star of this little journal is the fun beaded spine. So however you choose to do the cover of your journal, that's just a couple suggestions. You might also, if you want to choose a strong image from just some scrapbook paper and do it like that. Or, I was very lucky with this piece of paper because it was an entire piece of scrapbook paper, and we do use the, hold on a second and I'll show you. We are going to use this for the back of the book. Or I've also got a couple more choices that I might do too. This is a whole piece of scrapbook paper. I'm sorry, this is not a whole piece of scrapbook paper. I cut this, and then I had enough to do the back of the journal as well. All right. So that's a little hint about, maybe the papers that you should choose, because I do think that choosing the most fun paper that you can find is kind of important when you're creating this little journal. But of course you can paint it and then paint something on it. It really doesn't matter. Whatever makes you happy, whatever makes your heart sing. We're going to start constructing our basic cereal box book, and I wanted to talk to you just a minute about cereal boxes. I learned my bookmaking chops from Jennibellie, and Jenny really does use a lot of cereal boxes and all kinds of boxes. I admire her so much because it's just, whoops, about the camera, sorry, a lot of fun to see the way that she recycles things. There's just one thing that you need to remember when you're working with a cereal box, is that this side of the cereal box, you do not want this side to be your spine. Let this side be the side that you cut, as we're doing our traditional box book. This will be folded in, but this is the side that you're going to cut. This is the side that you're going to leave intact for your spine. You can see here that I messed this one up, because instead of cutting it, I cut my spine. So shouldn't have done that. But that's okay. For this project, you need two cereal boxes anyway. One will be your box book, and the other will be your cereal box reinforcement box. So it's not that big a deal. But you can see that inside these boxes on this side, on the ingredient panel, that's always where it's glued by the manufacturer. So in order to make a smooth surface, we don't want that, that glue thing right there. So this is going to be my reinforcement cereal box. And you do need 2 cereal boxes that are, you know, pretty much the same size. Okay. This is the cereal that Chris eats. This is what I eat. I like Cheerios. All right, we're going to go ahead and cut here. Nope. See, I almost did it again, y'all. Gee whiz. Don't cut this side. Cut this side, which is kind of cool because it's an easier side to kind of eyeball and cut anyway. So we're going to go straight up here like this. I'm going to fold out, and when you fold out, hopefully, you'll see this spine part right here. Okay, so that's what we're aiming for. We're aiming for the flat place. And you're going to trim the little tabs off your box. And you can keep the tabs because they make really super cool tabs for your art journals or junk journals or whatever. I just keep a little stack of these, and then when I'm spraying, you know, when I'm spraying elements or embellishments, I just use them. I just spray those as well, and then they turn out as tabs. I'm not sure you're seeing this, so I'm going to stand up. You try and remove this stuff. Don't go nuts and think you got to get every little speck off, but you know, just as much as you can. And it's easier if if you're using an X-Acto knife. Sorry, my table is wiggling. I lost my paper that I tried to keep down here so the table doesn't wiggle. Okay, so we're just going to remove this. Remove these little things. You know, the best you can. Don't dig a hole in the box. Just trying to aim for just flat. You're trying to get off anything that's bumpy. I'll also put a link to the video about how to cover box books with fabric. I've been using a ton of beautiful fabric because my sweet friend Jeannie sent me a whole bunch of fabric. Good grief, it's so gorgeous. It's very inspirational, you know, she's one of my art angels, and it's nice to get boxes from her because it's just like a chock full of inspiration. Boxes from anybody is nice, I tell you. I am really blessed. Blessed. Okay, all right. Now, put this in the trash. I don't think we can recycle that. All right, now, this is the way your box should look now. You want to get some double stick tape. You can use glue, you know, if you want to use glue, use some glue. I use double stick tape and glue, and then that gives me a really nice stick. I'd like to thank my pal Judy for the double stick tape. Woohoo! Got lots and lots of double stick tape, which is awesome. Okay, so we're going to do some double stick tape. And then I'm only going to do one side of this, and then I'm going to step away so you don't have to, I mean, there's nothing very exciting here. Grab the glue. And then just some glue going here. And there we go. Right. I'm going to pull my tape off. I like to do the side down first. see if I can do this today. Oh my goodness, it's going to be a good day. Alright, and then we're going to pull this. I gotta say, Judy, I like this tape because it's like a little bit thicker. And that pull tab, when you pull it off, it's just a little bit thicker. And it makes it easier for me to pull off. Okay, alright guys. Now, I'm going to step away and do the other side, and then when it comes to the spine, I will rejoin you and we'll talk about cutting that spine. Hey friends, I have double stick taped and glued my box, so that's what things are looking like now. I have trimmed the tabs off the spine of the book right here, so you can see where I trim those off. So I'm going to put them in my little stack for later use. Next thing we're going to work on is the spine. So you can see the spine right here in my new art journal. There are a couple ways to do this. Jennibellie does a technique where she cuts and then she folds the places that she's cut into the spine to kind of reinforce it. I don't do the folding thing, but I do reinforce the part of the spine that is beaded, you know, and then the rest of the spine is naked. And, you know, it's just, you can see the signatures through here, and I just think that's, you know, it's so interesting to be able to see what's inside of a book without even cracking it open. So, let's deal with the spine. I need a ruler. I'm going to measure the spine of the book after I remove the tabs. And then, let's see how big this one is. Now remember, this is a Honey Nut Cheerios box, and it is a 12.25 ounce Honey Nut Cheerios box. Just so you'll know, okay? Alright, this is a little over 11 inches, so I'm just going to say it's 11 inches, and I am going to mark half of 11 inches is 5.5. From that mark, I'm going to measure 2 inches up and make another mark. I'm going to measure 2 inches down, make another mark. Nobody's going to see these, so it doesn't really matter how hard you press with your pencil or whatever. I do like for mine to go straight across. Okay. Sharp scissors, and we're going to cut. This is what I'll show you how Jenny does it, but I don't do it like that. Now Jenny would take this and she would fold it up like this and reinforce the spine. I don't do that because my folding skills are just not where Jenny's are. And I can just see it not being straight if I folded it. I'd kind of rather cut it and then reinforce it. And if you're working with a smaller box, then, you know, just follow that kind of mark the spine halfway and then measure 2 up and 2 down. And usually that turns out pretty good. I know I need to reinforce the spine, so this is the whole reinforcement kind of thing that we're going to do. We're going to reinforce the spine. Going to put some glue on here. I love glue and cereal boxes. It's one of those things that just really works out really good. All right, and then I'm just going to kind of eyeball this little piece that I'm going to need down here. Do the folding thing if you're, you know, if you can fold straight. I have, I'm at that beautiful age where I have to wear spectacles. I'm super nearsighted. Can't see anything without my contacts. So now I have to wear, contacts and reading glasses. And then sometimes that's too much, and you can't. It's a crazy age to be, but I can see. Thank you. That's a huge blessing in itself. Okay. All right. We're gonna zip this little piece right in here. No biggie. And we also want to reinforce each side of this. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to go back to, remember I told you needed 2 boxes, and this is like the reinforcement box. These panels are, let's see how big these things are. These are, okay, I'm going to cut my reinforcement panels at 7.5 because I don't want to, I mean, this is a little over 7.5, but if I butt the panel right up against the spine, the book won't open correctly. So 7.5 by 11.25. So I'm going to cut my reinforcements from my second cereal box, 7.5 by 11.25, and then I'll be right back with ya. Okay, friends, we are back, and we have cut the reinforcements for our beaded spine art journal from a cereal box. So I'm ready to glue those down. You can glue these, or you can use double stick tape. I think at this point glue works just fine. So I'm just going to give it a good dousing with glue. Sorry, Reba. Glue on Reba. Whoops, sorry, Jennifer. Glue on Jennifer Nettles. Oh, well. Whoops. Okay. Sorry. Okay, there we go. All right, just some glue there. I kind of like working with glue at this point because I can never get this on here the right way the first time. So glue gives me that margin of Tammy error that just always happens. It just always happens. All right, so we've got that glued down. To just make sure. Now see, I'm having an issue right here. I need my X-Acto knife. So I can kind of cut, there's too much overhang right here. Oh, there it is. Okay, so I'm going to cut just a little bit off. Don't cut into your spine, but you know, just get rid of that little part that's causing the overhang there. There's just a wee bit of overhang. Kind of get that off. There we go. All right, now let's check it again. You do need just like a little bit of space right here. And then that makes the book, you know, fold up correctly. Okie dokie. Now let's glue in this side and see what happens here. Might be a little overhang there too, but don't you guys love this new glue? It like does this. Oh my gosh. Kind of made my life a whole lot easier. I do not have cups of glue sitting around anymore. Yay! You know how the old tacky glue, you would you'd have to put the cap on it over and over. And sometimes I forgot to put the cap on it, and then I would end up, you know, when you inverted it in a glass and you're trying to keep your tacky glue flowing, a lot of times you would end up with a whole glass full of glue. And then sometimes your top would come off your glue, and then you would have a glass of glue and your top. But this is, oh, love this stuff. Every time I get a 40% off coupon, this is what I buy. Okay, let's put this one on. Okay, I can see, I think this one's going to fit good. And you may have to trim it, you know, just when we flip it over, we'll decide if we need to trim it or not. And I can see that that is working great. All right. There we go. We've got like the basis of our book done. The next video will be about placing the papers on the book and how to do that. Thank you guys so much. See you next time.